Fort Smith. That's a cool town.
Yeah. Hey. That's farmer, friend, singer-songwriter Lyal Strickland.
And that's farmer, friend, and jack of all trades Chris Horn.
And we're those Tastebud Guys. Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode. We're going to do another first tonight. So we are bringing you our first growler, which, show what a growler is, Lyal.
It's one of these big bad boys.
We're going to knock that out in the next 8 minutes.
No, we're not. We're definitely...
Oh, okay. Never mind. I misunderstood what a growler was. My bad. No, actually, so I took a little trip a couple days ago from the time we recorded this, maybe a few weeks ago, the time it releases, but down to Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Fort Smith. That's a cool town.
Yeah. Hey. I'm okay now. Things are better.
So you were saying...
I choked on a potato chip. I'm sorry. Okay. So I was saying I took a recent trip down to Fort Smith, which is probably before you just cut that out. And I found a brewery down there I hadn't been to, which was called Fort Smith Brewing Co. And I believe it looks like it just opened up about 2017, beginning 2018, something like that.
Yeah, that's what we were reading online. I love... I think I just came to me right now, but I think maybe there's a business model of going into every city in America, starting a brewing company named after the city. No one else can do it. Once you're Fort Smith Brewing Company, there can't be another brewer that opens this Fort Smith, right?
Yeah. What happens if there's a Springfield Brew Co?
Well, actually, that's a franchise opportunity, right?
Oh, yeah, that'll work. Right. I'm sure that'd pan out really good for them.
Hello, tell me about Fort Smith Brewing Company.
So, here's the deal. I actually don't know a lot of them. They was super busy when I got there. They was right in the middle doing some upgrades on their tanks in the back. So they've already been in there about a year, and they're getting ready to expand again. And I think they're going to a big 7-tank system. And unfortunately, I was a little behind when I got there, and they had their water shut off and trying to get everything back turned on before the crowd got there. So I didn't get to do my normal thing of talking to the brewer very much. I got a minute with him, and that was about it. Fortunately, the bartender was pretty knowledgeable. She was really helpful as far as recommending beers.
Cool.
The cool thing I really liked about this place is they had 63 beers on tap, on the wall.
63?
But they wasn't theirs. Now, this was not Coors, Michelob, Budweiser, all that. Every beer there was brewed in Arkansas.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was very cool. They put all their beers on tap.
Nice.
Anyways, they had 5 of theirs on tap, and which I tried all 5 of them in a sampler, and then grabbed a growler that I thought was something we hadn't tried yet, might be something different.
Yeah, and if you haven't gotten a growler before, this is what it looks like. It will come with a screw top cap and tape.
Yep.
Right? All right.
Yeah, so they'll tape them because they can't obviously send an open container out the door, plus they don't want it to blow up in transit if it gets shook up a little bit. So they'll tape one, seal it up. You'll get charged usually $6 to $10 for the growler, something like that, and then you'll get charged for the fill. And the nice thing is you can take the growler back and get it filled for that same price, but you don't have to buy the growler again. They'll rinse it out and send it on the way. This particular one is called the Super Sour.
Super sour.
And it is the first sour that we've had on here. As I remember correctly, it's about a 6.4%. I don't know what the ABV was, but it's going to be pretty low.
Yeah. Now, if you haven't had a sour before, do yourself a favor and try it. It's they're just in a total different class than anything else. I mean, they're delicious, but they're sour.
I'm not sure what to compare it to if you haven't had one. I mean,
it's like a... Well, give me a second.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll jump in and we'll give this a shot. On the nose, you do get that little bit of... I don't know. There's a distinctness of a sour that's a bit fruity, but it's a bit... What is sour like that? I cannot think. What is it that's sour like that? is not going to freak people out if I tell them it's, you know.
See, this is not actually as sour as I'm used to. It's very nice. It's like even keeled.
So actually, that's why I picked this one.
Yeah.
Of all the beers they had up there, this was the standout model for me.
Because this is not usually a glass that I would want a sour in. It's
No.
just too much for me. I like about a 10-ounce pour in a sour, and then that's about it for me for the night. This I could actually drink for a good long bit, especially in the heat.
The nice thing about sours is when it's warm outside, it really just wets your whistle.
It's like lemonade.
And lemonade is what I keep wanting to go back to as a sour because it's got that kind of pucker factor to it.
Yeah.
This one I thought was really interesting because it tastes, the undertone is a much fruitier taste than what you generally get with a sour. Mm-hmm. And to the point, I kept thinking I was tasting like a strawberry when I was there. Now, this is a little more room temperature than what I had when I was there. Theirs was fairly cold. Mm-hmm. So I'm not tasting that strawberry right now. But I kept asking the guy that was brewing, I think his name was Quentin, what fruit he was using, what was it, and he said there was no fruit. All I'm tasting is just the
yeast.
Yeah, that's the yeast that was in it. So, man, he did a really good job with this one. I'm really happy that this, and I thought since we hadn't had a sour on yet, this would be a great one to bring out here and give a shot. And, of course, give a shout-out to Fort Smith Brew Co.
Yeah, I need to make it down there because I've been to Fort Smith a couple times, and the history there is just, it's just a wealth of history. It's such a cool city.
Van Buren is the town I like when I go down there, and it's for the exact same reason. Their history is just amazing.
Yeah, but where's their brewery?
I didn't look. Van Buren Brew Co., if you're there,
there it is.
Send us a link. We'll be back.
Now this is really, really good. So
yeah, so it's like I say, this is a room temperature beer for us right now. So it's not something that is. I think this is one of the beers I actually prefer colder.
Yeah, and
I think it actually brings some characteristics out of it. I don't mind them warm, but I feel like the lighter beers tend to me want them to be a little colder.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, if you haven't had a sour, do yourself a favor and go get a sour. If you're anywhere near Fort Smith, Arkansas, go to Fort Smith Brewing Company. Check these guys out.
I don't think you'll be unhappy.
Yeah.
Like I say, they tend to promote a lot of beers. You know what? There is one thing I want to say, and I didn't do the research on it, so I'm going to say the wrong thing here, but you get my point. One of the breweries down there, and you might know which one because I know you've had this beer, Resilience IPA. Do you remember who makes that? Is it Core?
I don't know if it's that or Lost 40. I don't know. Maybe it is Core.
I think it is Lost 40.
Is it Lost 40?
Actually, now that you said that, I'd have to look. I'm sure we'll put it back up here because I'm not sure. Whoever makes Resilience IPA, quick shout out to you guys. So they had that on tap there. They had it under their tap, and I asked them about that because I kept thinking, that seems familiar. Have I had that before? And they told me real quickly that they had... again, if we're saying Lost 40, it's not. I apologize. We'll get that corrected. But whomever the brewer was had give that recipe for Resilience IPA to every Arkansas brewery that wanted it, on the condition that everything they brewed, all the proceeds went to the California fires.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So, then why didn't you correct me?
I thought that was... I didn't know if that was an Arkansas beer. I thought that was a nationwide thing.
I see.
We'll pop it up, though.
Okay. So anyways, I thought that was really neat that a brewery would go through that, and they kept it all really, I say local by the state, but they kept it all local, and they put all the proceeds out there and was willing to share one of their big selling beers out there and just say, here, guys, brew away. I tried it there. They actually told me that the one that they had on tap was not one they brewed. That was actually a keg that they had brought in. But still, really cool of them. I think a lot of Fort Smith for going out there and bringing in all the surrounding beers and putting them on tap there, and so you can just try everything. It was cool. Fantastic. And of all the 63 out there, I'd only had about 4 of them.
Well, we'll be back down, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, until next time.
Whether it be the beer you're drinking,
the food you're eating,
clothes you're wearing,
or the people you're meeting,
grab a buddy
and try something new.